All right, there we go. Okay, now we got it. Now I see it. Now we're on. Now we're live.
There's a lot more people at home. Wi-Fi is slow. That's why the publish took so long, sir.
Man.
Everybody's at home, man.
Yeah,
Traffic was super light today.
Yeah, so anyway, we got it going on today. We'll be here till, I don't know, about 2 o'clock, 2:30. No, 2:30, because we have Brody Miller on from The Athletic. And we've been doing something that we added to the show. And we're bringing on different writers and people that cover a lot of the college football quarterbacks. And today, Brody Miller from The Athletic, who covers LSU and Joe Burrow, is going to join us. We did Tua yesterday. We're doing Burrow today, and we'll continue. By the way, we will have a podcast for you tomorrow. It'll be a short one. It won't be a big one because obviously it's Christmas Day, I don't think. But we've got stuff that goes on Christmas Day and things that will go on overnight and all that kind of stuff. So we may file something for you. I think we'll have something. It won't be much. Not like this. Not like what we do on an everyday basis, but it'll be more like what we do on the weekends when we give you a little something so we can kind of catch up to everything and kind of get forward. So happy holidays to everybody out there. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is that you celebrate here during the holiday season. We wish you the best, of course, and you have a safe and great one and eat a lot of food. Your meal's tomorrow, right?
Oh, actually, my parents used to have a monstrous Christmas Eve party and have everybody over. And then actually, Danny Van Allen, he was the Santa Claus for the city of Hialeah and would go out with the fire truck and he would paint his red beard white and he had the crushed velvet. I mean, you'd see him sweating like a pig, obviously, being down here in Miami.
Right.
He had the sleigh bells to his boots. I mean, authentic. His wife would even dress up as Mrs. Claus, but he would come to the house, and what my parents would do is have every parent bring a kid one toy, nothing major, no competition, just something small, something little that you could get from Santa Claus. Santa Claus would show up at about 11, 10 o'clock and give every kid a gift. And, I mean, open house, there'd be anywhere from 75 to 150 people go through the house.
Right, nice.
So
Very
my parents are used to it being Christmas Eve, and then Christmas morning traditionally, wake up at the crack of dawn first thing and get out there and open gifts, and lucky enough to have
so is
little
the meal
nieces.
Today for you guys or tomorrow?
The meal
for us is today.
Well, it's the party spread, but then tomorrow we'll do a breakfast, we'll do a dinner. Yeah, but tonight is a party spread.
Okay.
An open house. Friends come by and stuff like that still.
No doubt. All right. I like it. Good stuff. Ian from Brooklyn checking in there on the YouTube channel. As always, we appreciate those of you being locked in and supporting us as always. And we appreciate the numbers again, just absolutely phenomenal on the downloads. We're going to have another record month here, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
There is one thing I did not notice here at the house for the decorations. The Metro Rail
we haven't even
train thing
because with the little dogs, we have not done all that.
Yeah,
it's
just impossible.
They're gonna mess with everything, and so we got that big old tree and all that.
So
stuff. We haven't done the Christmas stuff in the last couple of years.
Dude, you got that killer monorail, the Disney monorail that goes around the tree. That was so awesome.
Yeah, well, we got to wipe out the living room in order to build that whole monstrous thing, and we haven't built it in the last couple of years. You know what? Maybe next year I'll build it, and then I'll build like some kind of a perimeter that they can't get to or something, and then that way I can keep them out, and they won't mess with any of the stuff that's inside. Because come on, man, trees and presents and balls and lights and trains, and we have trains and monorails that we put under the tree, but we haven't done that in years, man. It's been like 4 years, 3 or 4 years. Yeah, it's been.
So are you guys busting out the roasted pork and all that tonight?
Tonight, yes. Tonight we're doing turkey and pork.
Wow.
Well, because the old lady was traveling
you got
for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So I told her.
Are you going to get your killer beans?
Yes. So I told her you weren't here for Thanksgiving. So I require you to make turkey along with the pork because normally it's a pork night tonight. But I told her, no, I got to have turkey, bro. I got to have turkey. So make me turkey. I'm going to eat very little to no pork today, mostly turkey because I'm dying to have that turkey from her.
So she's cooking 2 meals for you.
Yes. Yeah.
Your mother-in-law's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, bro. Well, she has to kind of make up for it. She's screwed up leaving for Thanksgiving. What kind of crap is that? Anyway, we got a lot of things to talk about today on the program. The Heat defeat the Jazz last night, 107-104. Miami improves to 22-8. And an NBA best at home at 13-1, which that is really, really cool to know that the Heat are the best team right now at home in the NBA. That's pretty awesome, man. Hell of a performance. Butler had 20-8, added 2 steals. Bam had 18-12 with 6 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks. Hero was awesome. I mean, that play with like 7:30 left, that Bam deflects it, and Tyler's able to corral it, then come right down court and nail that 3-pointer and lift Miami and give them the lead, and they were able to, obviously hang on and win that game against a really, really good team. Rudy Gobert is a beast. I had Gobert for the first 3 years of my fantasy. 18 points, 20 rebounds, and 5 block shots. He is just a defensive monster. But to watch Derrick Jones Jr. posterize him yesterday, that, my friends, was awesome. Okay? I know that Rudy then got his dunk on Myers Leonard, but it's Myers Leonard. And I like Myers Leonard. Nothing against Myers Leonard, but he's not really there to be there for defense. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of a stretch 5 is what he is more than anything else. He's not really a defensive stud or something along those lines. And so last night was a lot of fun. Ingles was obviously red hot. Not Mike Ingles on the radio for the Miami Heat. No, Joe Ingles for the Utah Jazz, who ended up hitting 7 of 12 shots from three-point range. But, I mean, he's one of the better three-point shooters in the NBA. Well, if you ask Joe Ingles, he will tell you he's the best three-point shooter in the NBA. But anyway, that's a whole different story. That was, I think it was last year with Ingles when that story came out. But anyway, Mitchell did not play well, was not efficient last night. Kind of like our boy Kendrick Nunn. Kendrick shot 5 of 15 last night. It was just Kendrick. We're kind of getting a feel now for Kendrick, right? Kendrick is that guy that is going to be a little bit of a wild card. You don't know what you're going to get from night to night. You know you're going to get great effort. It's not going to affect his defense. He's going to get steals. He's going to get assists. He'll try to rebound. He'll do everything else. The good thing about Kendrick is that when he's not shooting at a high clip, he will at least produce in every other category pretty much for you. So that part is really cool. But last night, Miami makes it 3 in a row, 13-1 at home. Adebayo just with one of the, hustle play after hustle play after hustle play last night. And we talked about it yesterday with Spo. He's got to be right now the leading candidate for Rookie of the Year. Last night when I was on Sirius, I had Rashad Phillips, the NBA analyst for Fox Sports, on, and we talked a little Heat last night, and he agreed with me that right now Spo is probably your leading candidate for NBA Coach of the Year. I mean, you can't say enough about what he's doing, how young they are to be this successful as young as they are. It's pretty awesome. It really is. And last night was just another example why you as a Heat fan, you're pretty blessed. It's great to have what's it called? It's great to have Mickey Arison as an owner. It's fantastic to have Pat Riley as the leading executive of this team. But let me tell you something. Spo is the perfect guy for your not just your head coach, but this NBA. He really understands. I think overall he understands this sport and where it's at, because he had the vision years ago with the big three to kind of go positionless and not necessarily focus in on the center. And in a way, we've talked about this before, Riley's decision with Whiteside kind of set him back, because Whiteside, see, he didn't have the vision of Spo. And Riley failed there and set him back and gave him a guy that doesn't belong in this league. That, yeah, you can use him, but he's not really ideal for what you need in this NBA. Bam is exactly what you need. That guy's hustle, whether it's defense, rebounding, assisting, scoring, and he's improved in his offensive game in a big-time way. So it's been a real pleasure to watch this Heat team, and I think we're all shocked, aren't we? I mean, in the end, that's kind of what it is. We're all shocked that, holy crap, this is actually going on. This team is legit. This is not 31-10 fluke. You know what I'm saying? And that's because we're watching quality win after quality win after quality win. And that's where you start to say, okay, example. As the NFL season went on, okay, I kept pointing out to you the Raiders are frauds. The Cowboys are frauds. And I showed you what their victories were and what their losses were. And they could beat the really bad teams, but when they went up against the good teams, they lost pretty much. And that's what you don't see with the Miami Heat. It's not like they're piling up a 22-8 record because they've beaten 22 teams that are 500 or lower, and 8 teams they've lost to are all 500 and over. It's not the case. That's the case for the Jets. That's the case for the Cowboys. That's the case for the Raiders. They don't beat a lot of good teams. Usually most of their wins are going to be against bad teams. That's why when you look at this Heat team right now, and Utah, by the way, before the Clippers and the Lakers made these moves, I thought it was Utah in the finals. That was going to be my pick for the finals. But then all hell broke loose in the offseason. The moves were made, and it was over. That's it. and for me, it's still the Clippers. Lakers, an outside shot. Hell, they're going into their game against I think they do play the Clippers on Christmas Day. But they're going into that game with AD already banged up, and he's been banged up several times, missed a couple games already. I know LeBron is also banged up, but he's a cyborg. He'll end up playing. It's when it comes to LeBron, you got to show me when he doesn't play, and then I'll believe it. But Anthony Davis, he can't stay healthy. And so you look at everything going on with Miami at 22-8, and I got to tell you, I can't be more impressed with this team. None of us expected what we're seeing here right now. And they got Friday against the Pacers.
You know what's the thing that I like that helps me believe that this isn't a 31-10 fraud? We've been in overtime, won in overtime. Last night we were up by 8. They ran us down. We had moxie. We came through at the end. I think
they had a 10-point lead.
It was 95-85.
Yeah, they had a 10-point
And they
lead.
ran us down, and we hit our free throws at the end. We've been in some tight battles. We've been to Milwaukee, won on the road. We won on
good teams.
Philadelphia on the road. We beat Toronto on the road. We have some nice stuff in our back that we've done. And the one thing I do like, you know how coaches love to have stuff to teach and learn. Toward the end of the game, Robinson the other night with the inbounds getting a 5-second violation last night. There was a couple of we did some crazy stuff ball handling and got a little stupid. and they were able to get, run down from that 10-point lead. You know what I mean? And make it close. There's room for us to learn, basically.
The Heat do stupid things in every game. That's why they have turnovers. That's why they're the worst team in the league when it comes to turnovers. And yesterday, I believe it was 13, if I remember correctly.
Which isn't bad for us.
For them, it's exceptional.
That's good.
For them, it's exceptional if they can get to 13. They'd like to maybe be under 12, 11, get down under that. But they don't take care of the basketball. They do some crazy stuff, which is amazing. But they're so good in all the other areas. I think that's what balances out and why they're 22-8. And the effort on defense will always be there. So we got on YouTube there. We got the roll call going on. We got Flipside Fishing, Ian from Brooklyn, Mike Gator Zone. Right? What is it? No go zones. We got Go Gators, and we got Tim Suppley all checking in already on YouTube. Thank you out there for watching, listening, and chatting on the YouTube board. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to all of you out there, and hope you guys have a safe one and enjoy your families, which is what it's all about. So we got the Heat, kick-ass effort last night. They've got the Pacers on Friday, which will be, a mission, and then they've got Philadelphia on Saturday, so that's going to be a really, really nice combination there. And we do want to remind you that the show is brought to you by Moody's Dental. Yes, sir, the implant and Invisalign experts. I've got my Invisaligns on right now, and you want to call, man. Eric, listen, if you're having issues with your teeth, you need a crown, you need to get a cavity filled, you need to clean your teeth, and you want somebody that knows how to, a family that knows how to do it the right way. The Moody's family is there for you at Moody's Dental, and great people there, state-of-the-art equipment. That's the stuff that's going to freak you out. Call them, 305-821-0231. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Moody's Dental. All right. Last night, we went 2-2 in the NBA picks, 6-0, 2-3, and 2-2. Now, so we're 15-5. We've got a couple of games on the slate because, remember, Christmas Day is the big day in the NBA. So tonight, let's see what we got going on tonight.
I don't think there's any games tonight.
Well, for Christmas. I don't
tomorrow.
I don't want to lay out tonight they do it on Christmas. So I want to kind of get the picks out of the way because I'm not sure I'm going to do it tomorrow, and it's Christmas, and people
start early. The games what do they got, 4 or 5 games? They start at 11, 12 o'clock.
Right. So, and it's one after another after another after another. So I figure that I would give you my picks today for Christmas Day. And we've got a couple of really good matchups, by the way, for Christmas Day. Like I told you, Clippers and Lakers are going to play, and the Lakers are a little banged up, obviously. Shocker, AD. Anyway, first, let's start off with Boston and Toronto. Okay, remember, everybody's off because they're not playing today. Today's their Christmas. Today they meet with their families and do the exchanging of the gifts and all that good stuff. Unless, I guess, you're a home team on Christmas Day, you can all wake up early, get your gifts, and then you can get the hell out and go to your arena and play your game, right? I would imagine that at least half the league that is playing on Christmas Day, which is only 5 games anyway, they are at least being able to exchange their gifts. All right, so far, this is the opening line that I have right now. Boston favored by 2.5 against Toronto. And this is going to be an exceptional game. Toronto has been absolutely phenomenal this season. You talk about Toronto without Kawhi. The Pacers right now are still without Oladipo. And then the Miami Heat, who it's only Jimmy Butler. Those are the top 3 surprises in the Eastern Conference. That Toronto is this good. They're the 4th seed overall right now at 21-9. Miami is 22-8, the 3rd seed in the conference, and Indiana's the 6th seed at 21-10. 1.5 games separate all 3 of those teams. Philadelphia is sandwiched in between because they're right there behind Toronto and right in front of Indiana. So, it's amazing. It really is. And it's great stories. They really are. So Boston, we all know, is loaded with talent, and they're more balanced now. Kemba really, instead of having the flake that is Kyrie, Kemba really brings a lot of balance to it. So Boston is favored on the road. Now, the Celtics, by the way, are 8-6 on the road, and Toronto is 13-3 at home. So this is a pretty interesting matchup. But what I do like about this matchup is the offense. Okay? The over and under here is 213.5. And I think they're going to actually go over on this one. And that's the one that I'm actually comfortable with. 213.5, Boston and Toronto go with the over. Milwaukee and Philadelphia is the next game. Philly is favored by 1 over Milwaukee at home. And the over and under is 225.5. Ladies and gentlemen, Philadelphia, I think, got exposed by Miami with that 2-3 zone defense. I think a lot of teams are going to see that and say, hey, you know what? We don't believe Philadelphia has enough shooting. They're going to have to prove it to us. But you know who has enough shooting? Milwaukee. Guess what they also added? Giannis. He now shoots threes. Holy crap. I'm going Milwaukee +1 on the road at Philadelphia. Give it to me, baby. All right, third game. This one's a sleeper. It's Houston favored by 10 at Golden State. We all know where Golden State is at. It's one of the worst teams in the league. They've got all those injuries. Even if they had their guys, it'd be at least an entertaining game, but they wouldn't be a great team either. But overall, I'm going to go right now. I'm going to actually go with the Houston Rockets on the road on a Christmas day. I expect Harden to light them up like a Christmas tree, lay the 10, go with the Rockets. The next game, which is clearly the marquee game of the night, is the Clippers and the Lakers. Lakers are favored by 1 at home. And for those of you that don't know, the Lakers own the top seed in the conference right now at 24-6. The Clippers are 3 games back at 22-10. Now, the Clippers have more paced themselves. The Lakers have been kind of balls out from the get-go. I got to tell you something. In this game, knowing that AD's kind of banged up, and so is LeBron, and that the Clippers have the better team, and it's really a road game, but only by name. And, of course, the fan bases will be more Lakers. But you play in the same building. You play on the same court. So it's not like you have an advantage over the feel of the court or anything like that. I'm going with the road dog. I'm going Clippers +1 in this one. Take the Clip jobs. All right, New Orleans and Denver. Now, I would imagine that when the NBA made this schedule, they thought, of course, that Zion Williamson would be playing on Christmas Day against the Denver Nuggets, right? That's probably what they expected. I saw the story yesterday with Zion, and apparently he's still not ready yet. They've got him warming up, but he's not even cleared for any kind of contact. He's not playing any 2-on-2s, 3-on-3s, 5-on-5s. He's not doing any of that yet. So he's probably several weeks away from returning. And did you see that story, by the way, Bill? Did you watch that story yesterday?
Which one's that?
On Zion, on his return?
No, I did. I heard something a couple days ago.
Still looks too chunky to me, bro. Still looks too chunky. I'm telling you, it just he plays with such force. I think he has to lighten the load, bro. So when he comes down on that body, it's not 280 landing on that body.
So you think he's enjoying the Cajun food a little too much?
No, he was already too big as it is. I thought he was coming in too big. I think that's what these injuries are coming from.
Oh, the load bearing on his legs and everything. Yeah.
Because he plays with such force.
Yes.
It's force and 280 pounds. Bro, that's...
One thing you don't have to tell it to is a Nike shoe.
Yeah.
They know all about it.
So Denver is favored by 9.5 points at home against New Orleans. It's hard for me to even touch this game, to be honest with you. If I'm going to do it, I would lay the 9.5 points because I don't trust New Orleans. They're young. They're not really a good team. I mean, what is their record? They're 8-23. They're 4-12 on the road. They're 4-11 at home. They are the same team on the road and at home. And Denver is 13-3 at home. They score 107 points per game. New Orleans scores 111. So the over and under at 219, you're kind of right around at the number. And I just have a hard time.
They've also had a big rotation in their lineup. There's been a lot of guys out. I know I've had 2 or 3 of their guys on my fantasy team pick them
New
up.
Orleans?
Injury, yeah.
Oh,
Lonzo
yeah.
Ball.
Yeah.
They haven't had, I think, a steady lineup go more than 5 or 6 days.
Yeah. And let me tell you, as just a fantasy tip, if you if you play fantasy basketball, the tough part is that the tough part is trying to find options. But a place where you can always find options are on bad basketball teams, because somebody's got to score and somebody's got to find rebounds and somebody's got to block shots if they can. And just look for those options on bad teams. They might be names that won't be the sexiest at times, but because of opportunity, they become valuable. So there you go. All right, so here are my picks for Christmas Day. I'm going with the over in Toronto and Boston, 213.5. I'm going Milwaukee +1 on the road. I'm going Houston -10 on the road. And I'm going Clippers +1 on the road, technically, against the Lakers. So those are my 4 selections in the association for Christmas Day. I figure if I do it tomorrow, most of you won't hear it. And that'll probably be a good thing, because that means you won't lose any money and you won't blame me for it. But just in case, if I, filled you up with a lot of hope after going 11-0 in my first 11 picks, although you got to admit, the last 2 days, it's not like I've been going over or anything like that. 2-2, 2-3 is not the worst thing in the world. I'm not like completely off. So I'm just tweaking. So we'll have a good day tomorrow. We're going to bounce back and have a 4-0, 3-1 type day tomorrow.
What'd you say? You're 15-5?
Yeah, bro.
That's 750.
Yeah.
Okay.
750 in the first 4 days of doing this.
Yeah,
so.
you minus the vig and stuff, you're
No,
making money.
Oh, yeah.
You're making money,
15-5, you're 15-5, I'm winning handicapping contest at that percentage in the entire world. I'm smoking everybody. And by the way, basketball.
I've been burned too many times.
But I watch it. I watch it, man. I'm a fantasy guy. I watch it. I watch as many basketball games as I possibly can. I really love watching basketball. As much as I know that the regular season doesn't mean that much, although this year I will say it does mean a little more, because it just seems like it's just a tighter race this year than ever. Even in the West, there are 2 beasts, Lakers and Clippers, right? So we're going to see those 2 monsters. It's 2 Godzillas fighting against each other, to kind of see who goes to the NBA Finals. And then the East is Milwaukee, and then I think everybody else trying to fight to face, right? Don't you look at it that way? Like Milwaukee really
is
the creme.
Milwaukee is the one team that has a shot against whoever from the West right now.
But no,
none of the other ones are.
But they also look like they're above everybody else in the East right now. Not by miles, but they're better than everybody in the East. And it looks to me like the Celtics and the Sixers and the Heat and Toronto and Indiana. I'm going to throw Indiana in there because Indiana's in the race now. When they had Oladipo,
yeah.
Oh my God, they're definitely going to be in the race. So all those teams, I think, are bunched up trying to figure out who's number 2.
Well, as Heat fans, we know Indiana's a thorn in our side, man.
Yeah.
That team just. You know what?
They run really well, man.
You know what I got to say?
And Nate McMillan, I'm so happy for Nate McMillan, because Nate McMillan has had other coaching jobs that he's done a really good job in the past, and he's gotten screwed. And Nate McMillan was one of those guys that I admired as a player for the Sonics for so many years, because he was a leader, a tough guy, played offense, played exceptional defense, was a team guy. That's why he's turned into such an excellent coach. And he has gotten screwed, okay, many times over. And I'm happy that he's getting this opportunity, and he's proving to people that he's a badass coach because he's without his best player, and he's got the Pacers balling right now at 21-10. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games, man. They're phenomenal. It's a great story what's going on with the Pacers.
Talking about this season, let's go back. 10, 12 years? You kind of knew who the team was. This year is kind of the first year in a long time that it's kind of wide open.
Oh, no, yeah.
It is
more wide open than it's ever been because is what we talked about the other day.
The three, yes,
we're down to twos now.
Right, yep.
Nobody has three superstars anymore.
It's like the superstars have been smeared. It's not stacked in certain spots. It's been smeared and spread throughout the league.
And to their credit, they ended up making their sport better now because there's more drama, there's more intrigue, there's more question, there's more, debate, which we never have debates in the NBA. What are you talking about? It's going to be the bad boys. What are you going to talk about? Oh, dude, it's San Antonio. What are you talking about? Dude, it's going to be Michael. What are you talking about? Oh, it's Magic or Bird. What are you talking about, dude? It's going to be Kobe and Shaq. What are you talking about? It's going to be Golden State. What are you talking about? It's the big three.
The Bulls need a rebounder.
Did I cover our last 40 years of existence?
That's like 40 years.
All right. So that's been the NBA. It's never been a surprise. Rarely is it ever a surprise. Oh, Michael retired. Oh, dude, of course it's going to be Olajuwon. Like, was there any doubt it was going to be the Rockets? No, that's it. That 8-year span, you knew it was Michael and then Olajuwon.
Yeah, that was pretty simple.
Right, and it's been like that forever.
Last year was a surprise.
The greatest decade of the NBA, it was Lakers and Celtics. Greatest decade. And then the Sixers slipped in early in the 80s. Like, hey, can we get
83.
One? Right, can we get one? And then Bad Boys at the end of that.
They could have easily had more. I know that was your team back then.
But those
Billy
other
Cunningham,
teams,
man, God.
But those teams were better. The Lakers and the Celtics were better. The Sixers were good.
Yeah, but
were
wait a minute.
Really
wait
good.
A minute.
But the Lakers and the Celtics were better, bro, because the Lakers and the Celtics had multiple Hall of Famers.
Okay, but let me hold on. Let me give you some props to your Sixers.
Did Moses make it, right? I think Moses made it, so you had two.
There's many a year that the 1 and 2 teams record-wise in the NBA were Boston 76ers.
Yeah.
The Lakers were third.
Right.
Yep. Okay? Yep. And in those years, God, Tony, when they had
White Chocolate, Bobby Jones.
Bobby Jones. Man, there was 6 Maurice Cheeks. Yeah. They had 8 guys.
Yeah.
Billy Cunningham put together some. It's amazing that they only won one.
But it's not Bird, Mikhail Parrish, and it's not Magic, and it's not Worthy Kareem. It's Doctor, and then really Moses kind of towards the end.
Yeah.
And then that's it. The other guys were good players, but not Hall of Famer. Dude, even Dennis Johnson was a Hall of Famer. He's the 4th guy.
Yeah.
They couldn't compete, bro. And the Lakers were loaded. It's just, and the Lakers had their superstars, and then they had a whole bunch of other guys. It just was a deep ass
one year
roster.
that
they whip out Michael Thompson on your ass off the bench, and it just, I love my Sixers, but I got to be honest. Those other 2 teams were just better, bro. They just
Moses Malone is when you got it in '83, right? Moses joined the team.
Right.
That's what I thought.
Because it couldn't be only Doc. And you had some other really good players. Bobby Jones was a hell of a player, but not a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? Andrew Toney was a nice player, but not a Hall of Famer. Maurice Cheeks is the one that actually, for me, is did he make it to the Hall? Because I think he was the borderline guy. He was, to me, man, his defense, I probably would have put him in the Hall. But, again, just those Celtics and Laker teams were
the way he
so
played
good,
he was like a preview of Joe Dumars later. You know what I mean? Sixers
were good, were really, really good. Lakers and Celtics were legendary. They were just, great franchises. That's why they're royalty in this league, And the Sixers are not. Lakers and Celtics are the royalty of the NBA because of what they've accomplished in their entire existence. And they continue to be relevant, and that's a tribute to them overall. especially with the Lakers, because they overcome a lot of stupidity over there, and they're still relevant, which is amazing. At least with Ainge and these guys, they look like they actually know what the hell they're doing. But over there with the Lakers, they just get lucky there.
Man, Danny Ainge, you want to talk about a guy in the front office, the way he accumulated all those picks and everything right out the bat?
Yeah.
It was like, man, Danny knows what he's doing.
He's maybe the second best after Jerry West as former player to then executive. He's done an awesome job. George says, Merry Christmas to all of my extended family. Be safe and be safe, and may God bless you all through our upcoming new year. Thank you. Appreciate that, George. Thank you very much. Alman 241 says, Happy holidays, Dougie Fresh. How you doing, Dougie? Hope everything is well out there. Tim Suppley also, so appreciate all of you chiming in on the the YouTube chat board. Remember to pass the word on, to follow us. And you can go to our website now at BigORadioshow.com. You can listen to any of the episodes there, any of the shows, segments, rants, interviews, everything that that Bill puts together and posts. It's there at the website at Big O Radio Show. You can check that out. So you got our picks. We talked a little Heat from last night, which was excellent. We do want to remind you that at Hialeah Park, we're going to be out there on Friday broadcasting live. Got a hell of a day Friday. Friday, we're going to be broadcasting at Acura in the morning, Hialeah Park in the afternoon, and then Craig, and then I'll be at Mad Dog in the evening. We'll do 3 radio shows on Friday.
Are you going to talk it all on? Well, Thursday, you're what, going to just talk during the show and that's it and save it for Friday?
Yeah, I'm going to have to maybe just like go to sleep for 24 hours and don't talk at all to have to do 3 shows on Friday. But hey.
Did you plan that, or was this by accident?
It's a little bit of both, I guess.
Okay.
I planned it by accident. That's kind of
the perfect storm for you.
Yeah, basically. The National Horse Players Championship is going on, and Hialeah Park, by the way, has a qualifier coming to them. And you get to actually participate in this qualifier. It's your chance to win. There's $10,000 in prizes, $5,000 to first place. If you win first place, you will win an NHC seat in Las Vegas. So you get the trip to Vegas. How about that? And you get to compete. So you're getting a free trip to Vegas to compete. Just look at that. Bill's about to get a free trip to Vegas soon. He's jacked up. Talk to him about that. Free trips to Vegas are actually really, really fun. You know? What do you think, Bill? Where you worked last, would they pay for a free trip to Vegas?
No.
Oh, okay. I was just checking. Just checking. Just checking.
Wouldn't even get paid.
Yeah, you weren't even getting paid. Anyway, if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, it's 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the program, that's how you reach out to us on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. And, of course, if you're watching on YouTube, you can always post your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff. Nico says, Merry Christmas, Orlando and Billy. I expect you guys on tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. LOL. All the best, boys. Thank you, Nico. I'll post something tomorrow. I will. I'll post something tomorrow at one point or another. Alman241 says, Big O, the best for those of us that live out of market to get South Florida sports coverage. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. And soon you will have a listen live button on our website at BigORadioshow.com. I promise you, we're working on that. We're working on some things. Bill and I are working on some things that we're planning on growing big time in 2020. Okay? I mean, it's already like gone to extremes now that we didn't even expect. Okay? So it is phenomenal. I think today we will pass our totals from the month of November in downloads. Like, it's records from here on out for the rest of the week, which is rest of the month, which is just absolutely amazing, and we are blessed, and we thank you. And this is a holiday season, and yesterday we had a record day downloads yesterday during the holidays, which we were anticipating a really slow week
You
this
got to
week.
have a lull, man. People aren't doing their normal routine.
No, but I think they're driving around, listening to us and all that.
Being available at your fingertips whenever you want, wherever you want.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. They're running around. They're going to get gifts, or they're going to work, or they're going home, or they're going to work. Morning, afternoons, we see the spikes on SoundCloud, and
I'll say this.
it explodes.
With the amount of traffic I've seen, because I've had to go by the mall, of course, a couple times in the last week, you need something to listen to for a good 40 or 50 minutes. Traffic has been horrendous, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. So it's been absolutely amazing, and we all thank you for your incredible support. I mean, right now we are in the midst of maybe even having a record all-time day today, which would be phenomenal.
Totally unexpected, man.
Yeah.
This during the holiday, no.
Yeah. Well, that's you
You
guys.
guys have been
You're giving,
wow.
ladies and gentlemen, you're giving us a great gift for the holidays, is what you're doing, and we appreciate that. We appreciate the amazing, amazing support that you've given us. So remember, go to HialeahPark.com and check it out if you want to become, you want to get into the National Horse Players Championship.
That thing sounds really cool. I mean, literally that day,
You got to know your stuff.
you
but yeah.
you walk out with 5. Well, what is it that Steve said? They're paying to the 4th or 5th spot.
Fourth spot.
Fourth spot.
$1,000 for the
So
fourth
you don't
spot.
even have to be win, play,
Win,
show.
play, show, yeah.
You're on the outside looking in.
Yep.
4th spot, just
Yep.
outside, and you
Yep.
get money.
Yep.
But walking away that day, you win $5,000.
Be pretty awesome.
Happy New Year and Merry Christmas to you.
Yep. Pretty awesome, man. Definitely. And if you win, of course, you got to take Bill and I out. You know what I mean? If you got the info here, then you went over there and won. The least you can do is treat us to a steak or something. I mean, come on.
Well, yeah, considering you got a free trip to Vegas on top of it, yeah, share the wealth.
Look at that. Bill gets a free steak and a free trip to Vegas. He's he's loving life right now. It's a beautiful thing. All right, get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line 786-322-1105. Now, what was depressing yesterday was the Florida Panthers as they go up to Tampa and they get smoked 6-1. Bobrovsky giving up 6 goals, 28 saves. Hubie was the only goal. Saturday, they will take on Detroit at 7 o'clock. I don't know what to tell you about the Panthers. It's one of those things, and I know they had won 3 in a row, but you just want better outings. You don't want the inconsistencies, and that's still what we're getting from the Panthers. Look, if you lose that game last night 2-1, and it's a gritty game, tough game, I can kind of live with it. But 6-1, it's just get your ass kicked.
Here, you know how we do back and forth, blah. I get in on the Panthers game, and it's 1-0, 2-0, 3-0.
Oh, 3-1, right?
3-0 at the first.
Right.
And I'm like, I think we can move to the Heat game now. And I went to the Heat game. So I'm into the Heat game because you saw it was an awesome game.
Great game.
It was every bit of a playoff game.
Yeah.
Okay, in December.
2 excellent teams.
So I think it was somewhere in the third period. I go back to the Panthers, and I just little 1 or 2 on the forward up, and 4-1, 5-1. I'm like, yeah, okay. I don't need.
It's over. It's over. Yeah, and it was a shame last night. Let's see.
You know what? And
Mark Angelo says, Merry Christmas from NorCal to Big O crew and listeners. Happy holidays, 420 crew, he puts.
You know what's the one thing about the Tampa game? That was the last time we play. We've already played 4 times. Yeah. That's it. And we end the season 1-3.
Yeah.
It was the second game of the season after they beat us over there that we got them. Yeah.
The back-to-back.
And actually, the 2 of the 3 losses, we didn't look very good. Obviously, the last one was 2-1, but last night, man, we might as well have not even showed up.
They break your heart, man. It's tough. This team is just one of those teams that you just cannot trust yet. They have not earned it. They're not the kind of team that you could feel like the Heat. If you're like me and you're watching, or like Bill or anybody out there, and you like both teams because you're a hometown person, you like all the hometown teams, and you watch the Panthers, there's one mood. And then you switch over to the Heat, and then there's another mood. And they're two polar opposites, because with the Panthers, it's you don't know what you're getting. You're kind of like nervous. You're not really confident, and you're kind of bracing yourself for bad news. Whereas with the Miami Heat, you're like excited. You're like, okay, what's next? Like, who's going to show up? Like, who's stepping up? These are. It's a whole different atmosphere, a whole different vibe when you watch the Heat. You notice it when you change from one to another. That's it. The emotions take over, and it's usually good stuff. You feel really good about what you're watching because you have confidence in it. And it's kind of like what we're watching with Devontae Parker. Devontae was breaking down. His body was, constantly injured. Obviously kills your confidence because you can't go achieve what you think in your mind you can. Now you got a confident guy, and now you got a injury-free guy. You get a confident guy, and now he can go out there and perform. And it's the same thing. It's kind of the whole. You feel confident as a fan because you know that they're going to perform at a high level.
You know what? Against the elite teams in the NBA, feel good about it. We got a shot. We could beat these guys.
Yeah.
And we have done it. We've done it at their place. Mm-hmm. And the Laker game, there were some questionable calls. We all know. Should have held service at home. Should have beat them. We should be 1-1 with the Lakers.
Yeah. It is what it is. That's fine. But you could lose those kind of when you're 22-8. You're going to play 82 games. You're going to lose some. But when you're the Panthers, and you've spent this kind of money on the coach, on the goalie, and on the team, you got to play better than this. You got to produce better than this, and that's the problem. But it's funny how the South Florida sports fan has to feel a sway of emotions when they swing from one team to another in our winter teams. Pretty amazing. It really is. All right. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the program as we take you till about 2:30. Brody Miller is set to join us from The Athletic at 2 o'clock. As I told you guys, we're going to do a little feature every day here on the program. I don't know about tomorrow because tomorrow's Christmas, so maybe we'll skip that day. But Thursday and Friday we'll pick up on it, and we're trying to go to check out most of the drafted quarterbacks this year. The guys that I think are targets and pretty much relevant to what we're looking for as a Miami Dolphin fan, and we're going to try to talk to beat writers as much as possible, the people that are around these guys on an everyday basis. Brody Miller from The Athletic covers LSU. And we've had Brody on before, and so looking forward to having Brody on. We're going to go in depth, talk a little bit about Joe Burrow. I know that Miami right now doesn't have a shot at Joe Burrow technically, but we got to obviously go through it because you just never know, anything can happen. So we'll talk to Brody Miller.
You know what?
We'll focus on that. And remember, we're going to be talking about a lot of the quarterbacks that are in this draft. We've got guys that all kinds of folks are interested in. It's not just Joe Burrow. It's not just Tua, because we did Tua yesterday. And if you get an opportunity, go to our website, and you can go to the website at Big O Radio Show, or, of course, you can download it. Martin Houston was excellent yesterday from Tuscaloosa talking about Tua. So we'll have Burrow today. We'll get somebody from Oregon to talk about Herbert. We'll get somebody from Georgia to talk about Fromm. Washington with Eason. Washington's Utah State with Jordan Love. Oklahoma, Jalen Hurts. Anthony Gordon with Washington State. Nate Stanley, Iowa. Steven Montez, Colorado. All of these guys we're going to focus in on because these are names that you and I are going to be talking about in the NFL draft. In fact, if you happen to have Sirius, yesterday I had a great conversation with Hub Arkish from Pro Football Weekly. He's one of my favorite guests that I have on. He's a Chicago guy, very very few people know more about Chicago sports than that guy. But when we talk about the NFL, I mean, he's just phenomenal for many years covering the NFL for Pro Football Weekly. And we got into a lot of football conversation and draft conversation and stuff. It's a really, really good interview yesterday. As always, with Hub, you can get into it. So if you have an opportunity, if you have Sirius, Mad Dog Radio, download that show yesterday. We had Bobby Belt, who talked a little bit about the Cowboys. We had Hub Arkish talking NFL and Pro Football Weekly. We did a little Bears talk with him, too. And we had Rashad Phillips talking a little NBA, and he was really, really impressed with the Miami Heat. So those were really, really good interviews yesterday on Sirius Radio.
You actually talked about my Bears. What were you talking about? Trubisky's not going to be the quarterback there, hopefully, next year?
If I'm gonna
Is that it?
If you're going to have Hub Arkish on,
Yeah.
and you don't ask about the Bears, you're an idiot. You know what I mean? It's not that I'm a Bears fan, but I'm on national radio, and I'm sure thousands of Bears fans are like, oh, dude, you have Hub Arkish on. Ask him about my Bears. And I did. I had to ask about the Bears. So, yeah, of course.
Trubisky's got to go.
Dude, it's Hub Arkish. Freaking legend. You know, at least for me, he's a legend, and he's one of those guys that I have a ton of admiration for.
You know what's the last time we had Bodie Miller on, by the way?
When?
Was the day before the Alabama-LSU game.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense.
And he was saying that, he didn't feel real confident about his team.
Yeah.
So maybe mention that. You got to be walking on a cloud right now, feeling a little happy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they're the best team in the country. Oh, Devontae is top 10 in almost every category. His only low numbers are yak, which is very low, but could this be why he is healthier? Go up for the ball and come down with it. Job done. No, I think that's just by chance the way things have worked out because he's leaping up in the air. So, you really don't land a lot of times and start running. You usually land on the floor because you're rolling around and you're fighting for the football with another guy. So I think it's just one of those things. The best part is that Devontae Parker's turning into a number one wide receiver, an absolute stud. And maybe he is a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL, period, next year. Okay? This year he showed you the flashes. Now next year, remember, you start to get a better offensive line. You get a better running back. You get a better running game. Then all of a sudden the safety has to cheat up a little bit. That opens up the field a little bit more. It turns into more one-on-ones out there. When Gesicki grows a little bit more, like he now grew this year, now what we want next year is the arrival of Gesicki. You had the arrival of Devontae Parker this year now, finally. We had improvement from Gesicki. Now he arrives next year. So if he becomes a threat next year, big time, then he works the middle of the field. That's going to allow Devontae to be a much better player, get more one-on-ones, and you'll see the yak open up. Because if you've got a running game, you got an offensive line, you got a quarterback that you fear, and a tight end that you fear, right now, what do you fear? Only Devontae Parker. That's the only guy, when they roll the film, hey, Gesicki's making a couple plays. Yeah, the Patrick Laird kid will catch a couple passes. Yeah, Isaiah Ford's doing a nice little job. But, dude, you see that guy Parker, that number 11? That's the guy we got to stop. That's the guy that will burn you over and over and over. Look, he's catching it over the top. He's catching it on top of you. He's catching short ones. He's catching underneath. He's catching crossings. Do I need to show you guys any more? That's what the defensive coordinator is telling his people.
How many times has he been double coverage?
Guy. Yeah,
how many? Literally all the time. Especially since Preston Williams went down. Man, it's double coverage almost every play.
And then you add Preston Williams to the mix. If he comes back and builds on what he did, Devontae Parker, that yak number will start to go up. But for now, if you're double teamed, then if you're in the air fighting, you're not going to get a lot of yak because you're the only guy that they fear on the team right now. So that's why you got to be a little patient and give it. I mean, you guys, I think after everything that's happened and you thought this was going to be the longest season of your life, it really wasn't that bad. And next week it's over. This Sunday it's over. And that's it. And then the more exciting part of the year starts, which is the off season now.
I haven't looked in a while, but a couple weeks ago, you remember I went through the stats. 16.2 yards per catch. He was like number 4, and he had 8 touchdowns. Yak, 16.2. I don't worry. You're catching 16.2 per reception. You don't need much Yak.
He's fantastic. I'm not worried about Devontae now anymore. I think he's over the hump finally. I think confidence, everything is soaring for Devontae Parker. Just kind of like our show. We are soaring, baby. Downloads and all, and we thank you for it. And listen, we got to thank, of course, our amazing sponsors. And let me tell you something. Don't you love a great rack? I mean, because I know, I love seeing a great rack. And if you want a great rack, you need to go to Pallet Rack City. Go see Eddie Pereira and all the great people at Pallet Rack City, 305-887-9212. It's your one-stop shop for all your warehouse needs, folks. They sell the pallet jacks, the hand trucks, the dock boards, and most packaging supplies. They've got the largest used rack inventory in South Florida, and they also sell used forklifts and dock equipment. Call Eddie right now. Tell him that Big O sent you. Hey, straighten out that warehouse. Make it look sharp. And they also, by the way, sell used forklifts and dock equipment, and they buy and sell new and used pallet racking. So they've got everything you need at Pallet Rack City.